And welcome back to Big Sam's Long Balls podcast with
Oi,
me,
oi.
Chris,
Hey,
and
Chris is here.
this fellow. I'm back again. I'm here to preview the Arsenal Liverpool game with Dan. Me being an Arsenal and Palermo fan, clearly,
Yeah, I was
and
gonna
you
say,
being a
what's going
Liverpool
on?
fan.
What's going on with your outfit, Chris?
I don't know. There's nothing wrong with someone wearing an Arsenal and Palermo get out. I don't think they'll ever meet in any competition, so it's fine. I don't know, but yeah. So we're here to preview the Arsenal Liverpool game. So um, we're sitting nicely at the top of the table at
Yeah,
the moment of
it's,
recording.
it's been a good start, isn't it? Like you must feel really, really confident going into this game, Chris, as an Arsenal fan, because I'm sure as hell not.
Well, it's the first time I've gone into this Arsenal Liverpool game feeling with a slight bit of confidence. One being at home. If it was at Anfield, it probably would be a different story. But I think with the way the atmosphere and everything at the Emirates has been this season, it's looking quite good. And we haven't lost at home yet. We've obviously only lost to Man United this season, but
Same
I
to
don't know, mate. To be fair, Liverpool in recent years, you've always had the better of us recently, so we'll see if that will continue. But I'm never confident playing you because
it's a big
we're
game.
quite. It's a big game. It is a big game, and obviously we're playing Europa League tonight, as being Thursday.
But with that shouldn't
Yeah,
have any impact in the game, though, should it? Europa League group stage, you could play a second or third
yeah,
team, couldn't you, in that one, to be fair? I mean, I think Man United
yeah.
are
We could
losing
do.
currently, so maybe that sort of
Oh, are
throws that theory out the window. But
they?
yeah,
Yeah. No, I mean I don't know. We probably would start a weaker team tonight, so hopefully it doesn't impact the players. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it brings any sort of fatigue to anyone. But you obviously had a good result against Rangers, so that's boosted your morale up
we
slightly
did.
from being.
We did. I think if we just
Mm,
gone off the Brighton game, I would have been like, just cancel it. You know what? Just everyone get COVID again and cancel the season and let's go home. But
mm,
it was good. It wasn't just good to beat Rangers. It was the way it happened. The performance was much
mm,
better. It was a change of formation. Kind of went to more like a Sean Dyche or a Big Sam himself. 4-4-2
yeah.
or a 4-2-3-1, whatever it was, it worked. And we just kept it
Mm,
simple. Trent stayed in his half a lot. We sort of almost played a back three at times, and Trent played as like a third centre back, and Shimaka's
yeah.
played as like a wing back, and it just you had Thiago and Henderson sitting, Trent bombing passes left, right, and centre. Look, the level of quality. I
Mm.
don't want to disrespect Rangers because we'll probably lose to them next week. Now that I say this away from home, but
Yeah.
they weren't at the level to really cause us too many problems. Like they got to the final of the Europa League last year. That's brilliant. But they were never going to
Mm.
cause us too many problems the other night at Anfield. So going up against Arsenal is going to be, 5 or 6 levels above. But
Yes.
what I liked about it was just 2 holding midfielders and 4 attackers. I kind of want to see the same at the Emirates. Maybe it will be a little
Mm.
bit suicidal to just have a 2-man midfield against your lot, especially with the way that Xhaka's suddenly turned into Zidane. But what I would like to see is,
Yeah.
everyone's
Mm.
hyping up Saliba. I think he's a very, very good player. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I think he's very good, and I like Gabriel. I think he's good. And I
Mm.
watched the game against Tottenham, and you deserve to win. You were much the better team. You could have been 2 or 3 up before Harry Kane gets his yearly penalty against Arsenal. But one thing that I maybe look, you can't be perfect for 90 minutes. No team can. And what maybe I looked at with a bit of interest as a Liverpool fan, the small moments of joy I thought Tottenham got was probably the last 20 minutes of the first half when Arsenal, that
Yeah.
instant sort of pressing had sort of worn off and you tired, and Tottenham pressed more from the front and they won those transitions, and for me that's Liverpool at their best. So
Mm.
um I I'm not really confident, not at all, but
Mm.
seeing how Tottenham were able to win those transitions and get through to a certain period of time, I enjoyed that. So I thought maybe we could do something similar. And so I would go with a front four like the other night and just chuck big Darwin Núñez up top. He's clumsy. He might not score. He's a bit average in front of goal. But what he's got is he's got pace and power. And if
Yeah.
you'll know more about Arsenal than me, but I'd imagine you guys, certainly at the start of the game, would play pressing
We
high line football, one ball over the
yeah.
top for Núñez and Jota, who loves a goal
Mm.
against you lot. Play.
I was gonna say, I mean, Jota, if he starts, he always scores against us, so that could just, no matter what will happen. I think both teams will just go attacking. I don't think either of us will change our style of play to suit this game because one, I don't think we've never sort of really gone that defensive way. We've sort of played with Arteta. He seems to have like one idea in his head, and it's sort of
Mhm.
sort of stuck with it. There's going to be probably some key battles in this game. I can imagine Jesus not being the tallest against like a Van Dijk. There won't be that many balls into the box from Arsenal.
He loves a goal against us, though. He loves. You talk
Yeah,
about Jota scoring against you lot. Jesus, he
yeah.
scored all the time. That was when he was decent at Man City, not suddenly this world class superstar that he is at the arse. So,
Yeah.
um,
But
yeah,
it's going to be interesting. I think Salah against it'll be Ben White probably. I can imagine that will be quite a key one. I mean,
it would be
Ben White.
Salah against
Oh
Zinchenko,
yeah.
wouldn't it?
Oh, Zinchenko. Yeah, yeah. And then Ben
Diaz
White
against
be on the other
White.
side. They'll both sides will be quite interesting to see how Zinchenko gets on because I'm assuming he'll be starting ahead of Tierney.
Mm,
So yeah, I mean Ben White's had a few tasks this year and he seems to have dealt with most people. He dealt with
good player.
Zaha and stuff, so he can deal with people running at him. He's been a great performer for us this season. And taking Tomiyasu's place wasn't easy, and he's actually managed to do it and filled the boots quite well.
Is Tomiyasu injured or is he back fit?
No, he's back fit. He's
He's
just not
just play.
getting.
He's just because Ben
Yeah,
White's too good.
Ben
Fair
White's
play
just
to Ben
yeah,
White.
you can't move him. To be fair, you'd think he's just moved from being a centre back to being a right back, and it's just been so natural to him. So, and I think in the midfield battle, if you've got Thiago fit, it can be interesting to see against Partey and like you say, Xhaka, who's playing further forward now for
He is,
Arsenal,
yeah,
sort of
yeah.
more like a box to box sort of number 8 sort of thing. So
And Odegaard as well. You've got goals outside the box, and that scares
yes,
me.
and people we're sharing the goals in our team. Everyone
Mm,
sort of chipping in, which is really good. And I mean, even from like set pieces, we've been very good this season with corners and free kicks. Um, and we have height now in our team, which is something that we didn't have like a lot, So even if you do get a corner and you've got the likes of Van Dijk and Matip up there, we have got the likes of sort of Saliba and Gabriel who could deal with it. So, I mean, I reckon it's going to be a very good game, and it'll
I hope
probably
so.
be goals. It'll be goals, goals, goals.
Goals,
It'll
goals.
be
It's the last game of the
0-0
weekend,
now.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yes,
I hate
it's
that.
Sunday.
Like a 5 o'clock
Mm,
kickoff on a Sunday is awful. You've had a good
mm.
weekend, but it's coming. It's going to end on a bad note. But no, I do
Yeah.
think. When do you think the battle?
Mm.
What do you think it's going to be won and lost for you?
Probably the midfield because I think if you can break through our midfield line and with the likes of Salah and um, Diaz running, solidly our defenders, I think you will cause us some problems. So if you get past the likes of Partey and stuff, I think you will have some joy
Mm.
potentially in that. So I think it will be quite key. I mean, I'm assuming you haven't got any injuries or anything, have you?
We've always got
Major
injuries at
one.
some point. There's someone going to be injured. I do think that for me the key
Mm,
battle is a midfield. I think it's a lot's
mm,
been made about Liverpool's defence this season, and understandably,
mm,
it's been pretty poor. But for me, the midfield is awful at times. At Liverpool, it's like the weakest area. And what was nice about the other
mm,
night is we just played a double pivot, Thiago and Henderson. I mean, I've said it a few times in
mm.
this podcast. I want Henderson in that sort of defensive midfielder. Yeah. You can still play a 4-3-3, but I think you need a younger, fresher midfield. And Henderson in that right-hand side just isn't working. I don't think he quite has the legs. So in a deeper position, he's brilliant. The way we play is so open in midfield. What worries me is I think Jurgen Klopp will go to a midfield 3. He will
Mm.
probably revert back to it. And like against Rangers, we dominated for 80 minutes. Like they didn't have a kick, really. They didn't have a chance against Allison. And then we brought on Milner and we brought on Harvey Elliott for like the final 15 minutes, and Rangers cut us open about 2 or 3 times in the space of 5 minutes down. And suddenly
Oh,
Trent went from
really?
looking really strong, really secure to just being
Yeah.
left exposed. And that's because we keep chucking Harvey Elliott in front of him. And you've got like, I like Harvey Elliott, but he's this tiny little boy. That's all I see when I watch him play. He
Yeah.
doesn't look like a man, and he's
Yeah.
a defensive player. So you've got this really attacking right back, and you've just
Mm.
got this kind of clueless midfielder in the sense that he doesn't track the runs. He's got no defensive awareness whatsoever. So I think if we play a midfield 3, especially if Harvey Elliott plays, we're 1-0 down already. I know it's a bit of a dig. It's harsh to say on the likes of Elliott and Milner, but I'd like to see a similar team to the other night, a double pivot, whether Henderson starts or Fabinho starts, I don't know, and then just kind of Sam Allardyce it, long ball it. I really like Nunez. I know he's a bit
Mm.
dodgy, but he'll run the channels. He'll go on the left. He'll go on the right. He will keep sprinting, and I think he'll cause Saliba problems. Saliba might be able to handle him, but he's a very, very good defender. But I think if you
Mm,
play a high line against us, and we use Nunez's pace up against him, it doesn't matter
mm,
how good of a defender you are. The last thing you ever want to go up against is pace, and he's got it in abundance. And
yeah,
it'd be nice just to see him and Jota play off each other again, because what Nunez does is occupy defenders, and then that might free up a bit of space for Jota, who, as we know, loves a goal against Arsenal. So
yeah.
it's what I'd like to see, but I do think we will go to a midfield three, and if we do that, it worries me a lot.
So do you think Klopp will start Nunes over Firmino
No,
up top?
no,
No.
no. I don't see Nunes starting. This is what I would like to see, is what we saw against
Mm,
Rangers. I kind of see maybe the same back five, because there's no
mm.
real other options. Please don't bring Joe Gomez in.
Oh
Fabinho,
yeah.
Fabinho probably starts in the six. Thiago on
Yeah.
the left. Henderson came off with half hour to go, so that probably shows that he's going to start.
Mm,
So he'll probably start on the right. And Firmino didn't start against Rangers. He came on for the last 20 minutes or whatever. So I think
mm.
it'll probably be Allison in goal, Trent and Shimikas fullback, Matip and Van Dijk centre back, Fabinho, Henderson, Thiago, Diaz on the left, Salah on the right, and Firmino through the middle, which is
Pretty
not
decent.
our strongest team.
You reckon?
Not our
Mm.
strongest team at all.
I mean, yeah, no, I guess I suppose we'll see. I think yeah, we're pretty much just like we've just started the same sort of 11
Mm.
all year really. So,
Well, why change a
but,
winning team? You know.
well, yeah, that's true. That is true. I mean, I think I mean even in the game that we did lose against Man United, we shouldn't have never have lost that game. We just had a bit of lapse of concentration. Two of the sort of those counted us two of the
Mm.
goals. So I mean, you could easily do that. Do you reckon you'll play like quite a high line against us? Or do you reckon
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know.
anyway.
Well,
Mm,
I don't know. I mean, maybe a week ago I would have said, yeah, we play a high line. We'll probably go 2-0
mm,
down within 10 minutes. It's just what we do at this moment in time. The
yeah,
Rangers was good because we completely changed our shape and tactics, and it was nice. But um, I don't know.
yeah.
Klopp maybe hinted that maybe this happens again, but could
Mm,
you go away to the Emirates and play a two-man midfield against your three? It might be a
mm,
little bit. Um, might be a little bit tricky unless you sort of take out Nunes and you go, we sort of will play a double pivot, but then we maybe push Jota up top and Firmino just behind, so Firmino drops a little bit deeper to
yeah,
help out in midfield. Maybe you could do something like that. I just want to see Nunes. I like Nunes. He's
yeah.
becoming my.
He needs his confidence, doesn't he? He just he
I
needs a
love
goal
him.
or something to
I
get his
love him
confidence.
because you just know
Mm,
he's absolutely mental. He's
mm,
he's Luis Suarez,
unpredictable.
just kind of
Yeah.
without the racism. So it's likable, you know. I always loved Suarez, but then he was biting people and being racist, and you thought I can't really enjoy this. So
Yeah, yeah.
Darwin Núñez, you don't know whether he's going to score or headbutt someone.
Mm.
And I quite like that. You know, it's quite entertaining.
Like, no, it's fair enough to be fair. I mean, if there is a red card in this game for either side, that could swing it easily, couldn't it? If someone loses their head or anything, I think it's that close to the game. I honestly do. I mean, I don't think. I think obviously everyone's going to think it's going to be a clear Arsenal win, but I really don't know. I just don't think you can under. I think if Liverpool are being the underdogs in this game, it'll probably give you more of
Might
an
help.
advantage, really.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It might do.
Because it will help because people are just thinking, oh, if it if it's Arsenal's to lose, and it's just it's just crazy how that does affect teams. But going in as the underdogs, and you've got something to prove to everyone. So
And
you know,
I think Jurgen Klopp is a little bit like Simeone in the sense where he
mm,
loves that underdog narrative. He loves it
mm.
to the point where he refuses to buy anyone in the transfer window. It's let's have the constant
yeah,
underdog story.
yeah.
So,
So what do you reckon your score prediction would be then for the game?
oh, Chris,
What
I
does your head
don't
and
know.
heart say?
My heart says 4-0 Liverpool. No, no, no.
Oh no.
I'd love to. I tell you what, I'd love to see
Mm.
um 60, 65 minutes, 1-1 or 2-2, and then you chuck on a Darwin Núñez and you see what happens. If Arsenal are brave enough to play a high line with this bad
Yeah.
South American running at you. Um,
Mm.
my heart says maybe like a 3-2 victory, Liverpool. Like quite a mad game, but
Mm.
my head is saying probably a 3-1 3-1 Arsenal, because you know
Yeah.
it was good against Rangers. But if we,
Mm.
I don't know if you saw, you wouldn't have watched the Liverpool game against Brighton. I don't know if you saw the highlights, but I watched
Mm.
the full 90 minutes, and the highlights probably couldn't have done it justice. We were, I think we went 1-0 down inside 4 minutes, 2-0 down inside I think about 15. We could have been
Yeah.
4-0 down.
Oh, really? They just.
By the time Firmino
Yeah.
scored, we were shocking. We were all over the
Oh,
place.
right. Oh,
And the
no.
bad thing is, the first 3 minutes we were the better team. So I don't know how that
Oh,
happened.
right.
And I look at that, like, we
Yeah.
start games notoriously really badly,
Mm.
and you start games brilliantly, like on the front foot
Mm.
pressing. And what I'd hate to see away at the Emirates, the crowd up,
Mm.
suddenly, Trent half asleep and Martinelli running at him. I'd be like, oh god,
Yeah.
I don't want to watch this
If
for
we
90
go 2-0
minutes.
up early on.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
an early goal
yeah.
for either team here. I'd love to see
Mm.
like a proper counter pressing performance from Liverpool, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, heart says Liverpool. Head says probably more of an Arsenal win. So I'm going to go for a draw.
Yeah. I
I'll
was
go for a
thinking draw, honestly.
draw.
I think my heart does say we'll win, maybe, because I think both teams will score, and I think it probably will be like a 3-1 to Arsenal if we can do it. And then but I think I wouldn't be surprised if it's 2-2, to be fair. And
Mm.
I mean, a draw would probably be better for Liverpool, I
That's all
guess,
we do now. That's all
maybe.
we do is draw games.
But, I mean, you need to get some points quick, really. I
Mate, I've
mean,
given up. I've given up.
I respect that. I know. But mate, we need someone to have competition with Man City this year. Someone needs to be up there to
Honestly, I
stop them.
hope if you guys beat, look, we're not going to win the title. There's no chance. I hope you can keep going, but
I
I don't
know.
see it, Chris. I really like what Arsenal are doing, but I don't.
Yeah.
It's impossible, or
Massive.
really impossible to kind of keep up with them as it is. And now they've just added in
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Norwegian Terminator, so it's just
Yeah.
he's just
So we'll
ridiculous,
see.
that guy. So
Yeah, I don't know. If we can't stop them, then I don't think there's many that can. But
I
yeah,
mean, this week is gonna age me terribly. I think away at the Emirates and away at Ibrox, and then at home to
oh,
Man City. I mean, this is a bad sort of 7 or so days ahead. I can feel it. I feel it in my bones.
yeah. No, we'll see. We'll see. Oh, I can't believe it. But yeah. But I want to say congratulations on getting us 100 subs as well. Over 100 subs
The
now.
big figure, yeah,
The
the
big figure.
three figures,
Not
100,
man, it's
102 now
good.
subscribers, Chris.
Yeah. Oh, really? I'm enjoying the content, making sure to like it all. So yeah.
And you're the one person doing it I like.
I don't watch it.
No, I know you
No,
don't. Right.
but
But
yeah, no, it's been
before
good.
we leave, I do think,
Hmm.
because obviously you've got to shoot off. Chris is playing football for those who are,
Yeah, yeah.
heavily
Playing
interested.
for Palermo tonight.
He is. It's on the.
I'm there.
What I'd like people to know, Chris, is you, a
Hmm.
beloved Arsenal fan, decide
Yeah.
that watching Chelsea was more important last night than doing our podcast. Explain yourself.
Hey, when Chelsea started winning, I changed to Benfica PSG game, so it's fine. I knew my thing. As soon as I saw Aubameyang score, I was like, not for me. Not for me. You keep your Arsenal tattoo on show, though. I like. You have to just I do love the way he went to Chelsea to play with Tuchel, and that's completely just backfired. I've enjoyed that, but yeah, we'll see.
We'll
I
see.
mean, but we'll do more podcasts together, definitely in the future.
Yeah, definitely. Right, we're gonna wrap it up here
Yeah,
then, guys. So I think we both had a 2-2 draw, didn't we?
we'll go 2-2.
We
It's like
both
the
massively
same.
bottled this podcast, didn't we? But yeah, so but me and Chris think it's going to be a 2-2 draw. Let us know, obviously, what you think is going to happen in the result. In the game, guys. Are you back in Arsenal or are you back in the mighty Reds? Darwin Núñez, last minute winner, Chris. There we go. It's going to be 3-2.
Is that it? Oh no,
3-2
we'll
Liverpool.
see.
You know it's going to happen. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's our thoughts. But obviously, let us know in the comments your thoughts down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, give us a like, subscribe. The road to 200 subscribers now
200,
is
yay.
underway. So thanks to everyone who
Yeah.
subscribed. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon.
Cheers.
Cheers.